Hi, my name is Ava Holt. I am a KVCC second year student, and today I am making fried chicken sandwich with some fresh cut steak fries. Alright, so first here I have my dredge. It's not the prettiest, but it is the best to put in a Ziploc bag so you can get everything married in. Pretty much I've just thrown in my chicken here that I've trimmed up. I've got about half a cup of buttermilk. You can use regular milk. I've got 1 egg, and the seasoning you can kind of season with your heart. I've put half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of paprika, Cajun seasoning, Old Bay. I've done dried mustard powder, onion powder, garlic powder, and salt and pepper. And then I also threw in some fresh herbs that we had in the kitchen. We had some thyme and parsley, so that's in there as well. What you want for that is for it to sit typically at least a couple hours or even overnight. It kind of just soaks everything in the chicken really nice, and you get it sticks better when you go to flour it. So real quick, we're gonna throw our flour mix together. I've got about a cup of flour here. We've got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. That kind of helps it have more of a flaky like crust to it. It kind of makes it thicker and stick to the chicken well as well. And then this is the same seasoning mix that we use in the dredge. We're just throwing some more in the flour, and then I'm gonna throw a little bit more salt and pepper in. And then we're gonna give this a whisk. And then typically when people fry chicken or ingredients, they'll have like they're wet and they're dry, but because we did the dredge, we already have the wet taken care of, and I only do 1 like movement to the flour. So we'll have our wet hand though still, and I'm gonna throw, I've got 2 breasts in here, we're gonna throw that in there, and then dry hand, kind of, you can use a spoon too, but you kind of get the flour all over there. Pat her in. Get in all the crevices. You want as much, because this is the only time we're putting it in the flour. You want as much batter as you can get on there. So that seems good. Going to just put it on a skillet tray I have next to me. And when it comes to frying the chicken, if you have a little bit of time in between throwing the chicken in the oil, that's better because it allows the chicken, since we've taken this right out of the fridge, it gives it time to rest and have the temperature move down. So that makes the oil stay hot, which is what you want. So now I've got my chicken ready to go in the oil, and next to it, I've got our fries. When it comes to thicker fries, the key thing I realized is that you want to give it like a parboil. So you kind of just boil them till they're slightly flimsy, but they still have like structural integrity. So like you don't want them to break apart when you go to blanch them. The blanching you don't want it to get too golden. Here you can see that we've got like almost like a white film. It's got like a skin already started. You can see a little bit of color starting to form there. We're gonna throw these in the oil and get our fries started. So I'm gonna put them onto our spider so we don't cause too much reaction in the oil. That's getting started. Before, I whipped up an aioli, which is basically just a thinner mayo. It's got less fat, so I emulsified this, I made the mayo. I just emulsified 1 egg. You do a little bit of vinegar, probably like a 1/4 teaspoon, and then about a 1/4 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And you emulsify that in just a regular blender, and then slowly add your oil until you get the texture you'd like. And then I added about a tablespoon of dill, a little bit of parsley, and then I added garlic and onion powder, salt and pepper, and that's kind of typically about the amount you're making, but this amount, it would be about like a teaspoon of the garlic and onion powder. We're gonna put that with our chicken, and I've got lettuce and pickles to top that. Our fries are done, so I'm gonna get those out with the spider. The good thing about blanching and then frying too is your fries spend less time in oil, which means less fat going into your belly. But we've got our fries here. Let them drain off the fat. And then I'm gonna throw them into the bowl. I'm gonna throw some gloves on because now this is ready to eat food. I'm gonna throw my gloves on, put some salt and pepper. I'm doing nothing crazy today because I did do our chicken Cajun, so that's where all the flavor is gonna be on our dish today. A little bit of salt and pepper. Give that a nice toss. And then I'm gonna throw the chicken in. I like to do the chicken after the fries because it just keeps the oil less dirty. And then we've got those in there. And then I've got my bun right here that I've toasted. I'm going to spread some of that aioli right on there. So once our chicken is ready and golden, we're just going to throw it out of the oil and toss it in the oven so it can finish cooking. It needs to get to 165. I have the oil about like 400, and it doesn't take too much time for it to get golden. So you want to finish it off to temp in the oven, and then we're done. Get it on there, lettuce, and our fries. And you've got a classic chicken sandwich with fries that you've made at home with nice fresh ingredients. Thank you guys for watching.